The Family Next Door, Living Beside a Predator. This intriguing title sets the stage for a story about neighbors and an unsettling presence. It hints at the contrast between the normalcy of family life and the danger lurking nearby. For 8 years, the Williams family lived next door to Michael Carver. They shared barbecues, holidays, and childcare responsibilities. What they didn't know was that Carver was secretly recording their routines. He entered their home when they were away. Carver was creating a detailed, imaginary world focused on their teenage daughter. The truth came to light during a home renovation. Hidden observation points were found in shared walls. Advanced monitoring devices were discovered sending information to a remote location. The sun beamed down on Maple Grove. It cast a golden glow over the well-kept lawns. The air buzzed with excitement as neighbors gathered. It was time for the annual summer barbecue. Sarah Williams hosted the event in her backyard. The area was bustling with activity. Laughter filled the air. The enticing smell of grilled food wafted around. Everyone enjoyed the lively atmosphere of the neighborhood get-together.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you could all make it. Please help yourselves to drinks and snacks. The burgers will be ready soon.
Sarah's warm smile radiated across the yard. She effortlessly moved from group to group. Sarah made sure everyone felt included. Her eyes lit up as she spotted Michael Carver. Michael was approaching with a covered dish.
Sarah, you've outdone yourself again. This looks amazing.
Oh, Michael, you're too kind. And you didn't have to bring anything. What's in the dish?
Just a little something I whipped up. It's a new recipe I've been dying to try out.
Sarah noticed a fleeting look in Michael's eyes as he spoke. It was something she couldn't quite place. She brushed it off quickly. Sarah attributed her observation to her own exhaustion. She had been busy organizing the event.
Well, I'm sure it'll be delicious. Why don't you set it on the table over there? I'll make sure everyone gets a taste.
Michael walked away. Sarah's daughter, Emily, approached. Her face showed teenage exasperation.
Mom, do I really have to stay for the whole thing? Jess invited me over to her place. We're planning to study for our chemistry test.
Emmy, honey, we've talked about this before. It's important to be here for community events. Besides, your father will be home soon. He'll want to see you when he arrives.
Fine, but can I at least invite Jess over here?
Of course, sweetie. The more, the merrier.
Sarah watched as Emily's face brightened. Her daughter quickly pulled out her phone. Emily began to text her friend. The moment was interrupted by Karen Thompson's arrival.
Sarah, this spread is incredible. How do you manage to do all this? You're also consistently closing deals. It's truly impressive how you balance everything so successfully.
Oh, Karen, you know me. I just can't sit still. How are things at the office?
Busy as always. But let's not talk shop today. This is your time to shine. You're the neighborhood's hostess with the mostest.
As the afternoon progressed, Sarah found herself engaged in numerous conversations. Her natural charm and genuine interest in her neighbors' lives shone through. However, a nagging feeling began to grow in Sarah's stomach. She noticed Michael's gaze lingering too long on Emily and her friends.
Michael, could you help me in the kitchen? I need your assistance for a moment. Your help is required with the dessert trays.
Of course, Sarah. Lead the way.
As they entered the kitchen, Sarah's unease grew. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about Michael's behavior, but she pushed it aside, determined to maintain her facade. Sarah had worked hard to create the perfect image of suburban bliss.
Thanks for your help, Michael. You know, it's neighbors like you that make a difference. Maple Grove is truly a special place to live.
The pleasure's all mine, Sarah. I feel lucky to be part of this community.
Michael's words hung in the air. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. A feeling of discomfort had been planted earlier. This unease began to grow within her. It left Sarah with an ominous feeling. This sense of dread would haunt her long after the barbecue ended. The Williams home buzzed with activity. Workers moved around, their tools clanging against the walls. Sarah Williams stood in the hallway. She surveyed the progress of their much-anticipated home improvements. As she watched, Sarah felt a blend of eagerness and worry about the ongoing renovations.
It's finally happening, David. I can't wait to see how it all turns out.
Let's just hope it's worth all this mess and noise.
Sarah was about to respond. Suddenly, a shout from one of the workers echoed loudly. This was followed by an unsettling silence.
Mrs. Williams, you might want to come take a look at this.
Sarah's heart raced as she approached the worker. His face was pale, and his eyes were wide with shock. He pointed to a small opening in the exposed wall. A shine from a metal object caught the light within.
What is that? Is something wrong with the wiring?
Ma'am, I think these are cameras. And look here, these tiny holes. They're peepholes.
Sarah's world tilted on its axis. The implications of the discovery sank in. Her gaze darted to the shared wall with the Carver's house. A chill ran down her spine. The sudden realization had shaken her, connecting her own space to the neighboring home in an unsettling way.
Oh my God. David, call the police now.
Within minutes, the quiet suburban street was filled with flashing lights. Police cars pulled up to the Williams home. Detective Johnson walked quickly towards Sarah. His face was grim.
Mrs. Williams, I understand you've made a disturbing discovery. Can you show me where?
There's something in the wall. Our wall. We share this wall with Michael and his family. How could this happen? We've known them for years.
Sarah's voice trailed off as she led the detective inside. Her mind was reeling from recent events. The walls of her home, once comforting, now felt different. It was as if her house had become a prison of betrayal.
We'll need to do a thorough sweep. The sweep will cover the entire house. Mrs. Williams, where are your children right now?
Emily is at soccer practice. Jack is at a friend's house. Oh no, the children. Were they watching my kids? I just realized I don't know who's supervising them.
Sarah's knees buckled suddenly. David rushed to support her. They felt the weight of their ignorance. Their misplaced trust came crashing down on them both. The realization hit them hard, revealing the consequences of their mistaken beliefs.
I'll kill him. I swear to God, I'll kill that bastard with my bare hands.
Mr. Williams, please try to remain calm. We need to focus on gathering evidence. We must also ensure your family's safety. Has anyone seen or heard from Michael Carver today?
A heavy silence fell over the room. Realization slowly dawned on Sarah. Her face reflected the sudden understanding.
His car wasn't in the driveway this morning. I thought he had just left for work early. But now I'm not so sure. Something doesn't feel right about the situation.
We'll put out an APB immediately. In the meantime, I need you both to stay here. We'll process the scene while you wait. We'll need to collect statements from everyone.
The police swarmed through their home. Sarah stood frozen, staring at the wall. The innocent-looking wall had hidden sinister secrets. The safe haven she built for her family was now destroyed. Around her, everything lay in ruins. The true extent of Michael's betrayal was just beginning to unfold.
How did I not see it? How could I have been so blind?
The question hung in the air, unanswered. Sarah's world was falling apart around her. Cameras hidden within the walls had seen everything. Now, Sarah had seen it all too. Her realization was complete and devastating. The harsh lights of the police station cast long shadows. Sarah and David sat side by side, their faces dimly lit. Their bodies were tense, and they seemed distant from each other. Across from them, Detective Johnson leaned forward. His expression was serious as he prepared to begin. With a grave demeanor, he started the questioning process.
Mrs. Williams and Mr. Williams, I need your help. Please describe each interaction you've had with Michael Carver. I want to know everything, as every detail is important.
I don't even know where to start. He was our neighbor, our friend. We trusted him.
Sarah, just tell them what you know. This isn't the time to protect anyone.
Sarah flinched at the sharpness in David's tone. She felt the weight of his accusation. Taking a deep breath, Sarah prepared to speak. She began recounting their history with Michael. As she spoke, her voice trembled with emotion.
He moved in about 2 years ago. The new neighbor was always so helpful. He offered to watch the kids or lend a hand with house projects. I thought he was just being neighborly.
And your daughter, Emily? Did you notice any particular interest Mr. Carver showed in her?
The question shocked Sarah deeply. She felt the blood drain from her face. As she processed the words, their full meaning slowly dawned on her. The implications of what she had just heard began to sink in, leaving her stunned and speechless.
Emily? What do you mean?
We have reason to believe that Emily was a primary focus of Mr. Carver's observations.
Jesus Christ, I knew it! I told you he was paying too much attention to her, Sarah.
David's outburst echoed through the small room. Sarah curled up defensively, reacting to the noise. Detective Johnson held up a hand. He was trying to maintain order in the tense situation.
Mr. Williams, please. We need to stay calm and gather all the information we can.
The scene shifts to the Williams home later that evening. The once cozy space now feels tainted and unfamiliar. Every shadow seems to hide possible dangers. The family sanctuary has transformed into a place of unease and potential threats.
How could you be so blind, Sarah? You let that monster into our lives, into our home.
David, please. I never thought, how was I supposed to know?
You're supposed to protect our children. Your need to see the good in everyone is concerning. This tendency has put our family at risk. We must address this issue for our safety.
Sarah's shoulders shook with silent sobs. David's words had cut her deeply. The weight of her guilt was overwhelming. It threatened to crush her completely.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What are we going to do? How do we tell Emily?
I don't know, Sarah, but we need to be united on this. No more trusting everyone at face value. Our family comes first now. Do you understand? We must be cautious about whom we believe. It's important that we stand together and prioritize our family's well-being above all else.
Sarah nodded, wiping her tears. She looked around their living room. Every family photo and cherished memento caught her eye. These items now seemed to mock her. They reminded her of her failure to protect her loved ones.
I'll do whatever it takes to make this right, David, to keep our family safe.
The tension in the room was evident. Sarah and David faced a daunting task. They needed to rebuild their broken feeling of safety. Their perfect suburban life was falling apart. This was only the beginning of their troubles. The autumn sun cast long shadows across Maple Grove High School. Sarah Williams pulled into the parking lot. Her hands trembled on the steering wheel. She felt burdened by the news she carried. Sarah had to deliver this news to her daughter. The weight of her task made her heart heavy as she prepared to leave her car. Sarah took a deep breath. She was preparing herself mentally for the conversation ahead. She walked into the school. The familiar hallways now felt strange and unsettling to her.
Excuse me. I'm here to pick up Emily Williams. It's an emergency.
The receptionist's eyes widened slightly. She nodded and picked up the phone. Moments later, Emily appeared. Her face showed a mix of confusion and concern.
Mom, what's going on? Is everything okay?
Honey, we need to talk. Let's go somewhere private.
Sarah guided Emily to a quiet spot in the school courtyard. Sarah's heart was pounding with each step. They sat down together on a bench. Sarah struggled to find the right words to say.
Emily, sweetheart, something terrible has happened. It's about Michael, our neighbor.
Mr. Carver? What about him?
Sarah's voice quivered as she recounted the horrifying discovery. She watched Emily's expression change. Emily's face shifted from confusion to disbelief. Finally, her expression showed a mix of horror and betrayal.
He had hidden cameras. They were in our house. Some were even in your room. The police discovered evidence. He's been watching us. He's been watching you.
What? No, that can't be true. Mr. Carver he's nice. He wouldn't.
Emily's voice trailed off. The reality of the situation was sinking in. Her face turned pale with shock. Sarah reached out to comfort her friend, but Emily pulled away from the touch.
How could you let this happen? You were supposed to protect me.
Emily, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. We trusted him. We all did.
Well, you shouldn't have. How could you be so stupid?
Emily's words cut through Sarah like a knife. Sarah watched helplessly as her daughter changed. The girl's innocence crumbled before her eyes. It was replaced by a hardened shell of anger and fear.
Emily, please. We're going to get through this together. We'll get you help, therapy.
I don't want your help. I don't want anything from you.
Sarah sat alone on the bench. Her daughter's words echoed in her mind. The weight of her failure as a mother overwhelmed her. She realized the long road ahead. Rebuilding trust and healing wounds lay before her. These were the result of Michael's betrayal. Sarah knew the journey to repair her relationship would be challenging. Days passed in Maple Grove. The news spread quickly through the town. Sarah felt the eyes of her neighbors everywhere she went. Their whispers seemed to follow her like shadows. The community's reaction was impossible to ignore, making Sarah acutely aware of her every move.
Sarah, I just heard. I'm so sorry. How are you holding up?
I don't know, Karen. It feels like our whole world has fallen apart.
Is there anything I can do?
Just be here. I think everyone else is avoiding us like we're contaminated.
Karen squeezed Sarah's hand gently. It was a small gesture of support. Sarah felt surrounded by isolation. Later, she returned home that evening. The street had once been welcoming. Now it felt like a path of judgment. Sarah sensed mistrust and suspicion around her. The formerly friendly neighborhood had transformed. She walked through a series of judgmental glances. The atmosphere was heavy, with unspoken accusations. Sarah entered her home. The silence was oppressive. David was working late again. Emily had shut herself away in her room. Jack was at a sleepover. This was an attempt to shield him from the family's turmoil. The absence of noise highlighted the strain in their household.
Emily? I brought dinner. Can we talk?
No response came from behind the closed door. Sarah sighed and left the plate outside Emily's room. As she turned to go, something caught her eye. A small package was hidden behind a potted plant in the hallway. Sarah picked up the package with trembling hands. Her blood ran cold as she examined it. She recognized the handwriting on the label. It was Michael's.
Oh, God. No.
Sarah's fingers trembled as she held the package. She was torn between needing to know its contents and fearing what she might discover. As she began to unwrap it, she felt the weight of danger. The threat still lurked in their lives. It overwhelmed her, destroying her fragile sense of security she had tried to rebuild. The once peaceful neighborhood of Maple Grove now seemed different. Shadows appeared to lurk in every corner. Sarah Williams stood in her living room, deep in thought. Recent revelations weighed heavily on her mind. Detective Johnson had just left after sharing new information. He had updated her on the investigation into Michael Carver's activities. The detective's findings had cast a dark cloud over the community, leaving Sarah to ponder the changes in her once quiet street.
I can't believe it. All this time. How could I have been so blind?
Sarah's hands trembled as she clutched a tan-colored folder. The folder contained evidence of Michael's double life. Photographs, transcripts, and detailed reports were inside. They painted a chilling picture of the man. Sarah had once considered Michael a close friend and neighbor.
Sarah, we need to talk about this. What exactly did Detective Johnson tell you?
David, the situation is worse than we thought. Michael wasn't just watching us, he had access to our home.
What? How is that possible?
Sarah's face paled as she looked through the folder. Her fingers landed on a photograph. The image made her stomach churn. The unsettling discovery clearly had a strong impact on Sarah, both emotionally and physically.
Remember when we asked him to feed the cat? It was during our vacation last summer. He actually made copies of our keys. This unexpected action took us by surprise when we found out.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna be sick.
David stumbled back and leaned against the wall for support. A shocking realization hit them both. Their privacy had been completely invaded. This discovery left them reeling with disbelief and distress.
There's more. They found hidden cameras, David. In our bedroom, in Emily's room.
No. No. This can't be happening. How could you let him get so close to us, Sarah? You were always inviting him over. You were trusting him with our kids.
I didn't know. How could I have known?
Sarah's voice cracked with emotion. Tears formed in her eyes. The guilt and horror of the situation weighed heavily on her. She felt overwhelmed by her feelings.
Mom, Dad, what's going on?
Emily appeared at the top of the stairs. Her face showed a mixture of concern and confusion. Sarah quickly wiped her eyes. She tried to compose herself.
Emily, sweetie, can you come down here? We need to talk.
Emily walked down the stairs. Sarah and David exchanged a pained look. They wondered how to explain the situation. It seemed difficult to convey this to their children.
Is this about Mr. Carver? I heard sirens earlier.
Yes, honey, it is. There is something we need to tell you. It's going to be difficult to hear. We need to be honest with you about this.
Sarah's voice trembled as she struggled to find the right words. She felt the weight of protecting her family. At the same time, she was struggling with feelings of betrayal. The situation seemed impossible to overcome. Sarah felt overwhelmed by the conflicting emotions and responsibilities she faced.
Emily, Mr. Carver. He's not who we thought he was. He's done some very bad things.
What kind of bad things?
The innocence in Emily's question pierced Sarah's heart. Sarah took a deep breath. She was preparing herself for the conversation ahead.
Sweetheart, let's sit down. This is going to take some time to explain. I want you to know that you're safe now. We're all safe.
The Williams family gathered on the couch. The once comforting living room now felt alien and exposed. Sarah knew this conversation would change everything. Their perfect suburban life facade had been shattered. The process of rebuilding their sense of security and trust was just beginning. The family faced a challenging journey ahead, but they were taking the first crucial steps together. Before we continue, let's take a moment to reflect. What are your thoughts on this story? What would you like to hear next? Please share your ideas in the comments. The Williams home had changed dramatically. Once a safe and cozy haven, it now felt like a prison. Paranoia had taken over the atmosphere. Sarah moved through the rooms with frantic energy. Her eyes darted to every corner and shadow, searching for unseen threats.
There has to be something. Some sign I missed. How could I have been so blind?
Sarah's fingers traced along the edges of picture frames. She was searching for any unusual bumps that could indicate hidden cameras. Her breathing quickened as she approached the wall. This wall adjoined Michael's former home.
Sarah, what are you doing now?
David's voice was filled with exasperation. His tone startled Sarah. She quickly turned around. Her eyes were wide and haunted.
I thought I heard something. It seemed to come from the walls. What if he installed microphones? Could he still be listening? The uncertainty crept in, fueling my growing paranoia about hidden surveillance.
For God's sake, Sarah, the speaker exclaimed. The police had thoroughly searched the premises. The police swept the entire house, they explained. The search yielded no results. There's nothing there, the speaker emphasized. They urged Sarah to cease her actions, saying firmly, "You need to stop this."
The tension between them crackled in the air. It was a palpable force driving them further apart. Sarah's shoulders slumped in defeat. However, her eyes remained defiant.
How can you be so calm? Our whole family was...
Don't you think I know that? This obsession isn't helping anyone. Emily has locked herself in her room. Jack barely speaks anymore. You're becoming someone I don't recognize.
The sound of a door slamming upstairs interrupted David's words. Sarah flinched at the noise. Her gaze was drawn to the second floor.
Emily, I should check on her.
Leave her be, Sarah. She needs space.
Sarah hesitated, feeling torn. She struggled between her instinct to protect and a growing realization. Her actions were pushing her family away. Suddenly exhausted, she slumped against the wall.
I don't know how to fix this, David. I don't know how to make them feel safe. I can't feel safe myself. The situation leaves me feeling helpless and insecure.
We need help, Sarah. Professional help is necessary. This affects all of us. It's not something we can handle alone.
A moment of silence stretched between them. The air was filled with unspoken fears. Yet, there was a glimmer of shared understanding. Sarah nodded slowly in response. A single tear traced its way down her cheek.
You're right. I'll call Dr. Chen in the morning. Maybe she can help us find a way through this.
David moved to comfort his wife. The sound of muffled sobs drifted down from Emily's room. Echoes of their shattered peace resonated throughout the empty rooms. It was a stark reminder of the long journey ahead. They needed to reclaim their sense of security and family unity. Sarah took a deep breath as she stood in front of her office building. She was preparing herself mentally for her first day back at work. This return followed shocking revelations about Michael Carver. The familiar facade now seemed forbidding. It appeared to hide untold judgments behind its gleaming windows.
You can do this, Sarah. Just focus on work and ignore the whispers.
Sarah pushed through the revolving door. The usual office buzz quickly quieted. Eyes darted away as she walked past. Colleagues suddenly found their computer screens fascinating. The atmosphere changed dramatically with Sarah's entrance, leaving an uncomfortable silence in her wake.
Sarah, I'm so glad you're back. How are you holding up?
Karen, thank goodness. I'm managing. It's good to see a friendly face.
Karen's warm smile contrasted sharply with the cold shoulders Sarah had received. Others had been unfriendly to Sarah. Karen and Sarah walked together to Sarah's office. As they passed, hushed conversations resumed behind them.
Don't let them get to you. They'll find something else to gossip about soon enough.
I hope so. I just want things to go back to normal.
Sarah's phone buzzed with a notification. Her expression saddened as she read the message.
The Johnsons just pulled their listing. They expressed discomfort in continuing to work with me.
Oh, Sarah, I'm so sorry. That's not fair at all.
It's a $500,000 property, Karen. This is going to hurt the agency, not just me.
As the day progressed, Sarah grew increasingly anxious. She found herself constantly on edge. Sarah flinched at every whispered conversation and sidelong glance. By the time she arrived home, Sarah was emotionally drained. Sarah walked up her driveway. She noticed Mrs. Henderson across the street. Mrs. Henderson quickly looked away. She hurried inside her house. The curtains in the house next door suddenly closed.
Great, now I'm the neighborhood pariah.
Sarah entered the house. She found David in the kitchen. His expression was grim.
How was work?
About as bad as I expected. Maybe worse. I lost the Johnson listing.
Damn it! Sarah, we can't afford to lose commissions right now. We have therapy bills to pay. There are also increased security measures to consider.
I know, David. I'm trying my best. It's not like I wanted any of this to happen.
David's face softened slightly. He saw the pain in Sarah's eyes.
I'm sorry. I know you're doing your best. It's just, everything's so messed up now.
Have you noticed the neighbors watching our house?
Yeah, Officer Brooks shared his thoughts. He said it's likely a mix of concern and curiosity. However, we feel like we're living in a fishbowl. This situation has us feeling constantly observed and scrutinized by others.
Sarah moved to the window. She peered out at the street. The once familiar area now felt different. It seemed strange and threatening to her. The neighborhood that used to be welcoming had transformed. Sarah felt uneasy as she observed the change around her.
I keep wondering about their thoughts. Are they judging us? Are they pitying us? Or are they afraid? They might fear that Michael's actions have affected us somehow.
I don't know, Sarah. We can't let their opinions control our lives. We need to focus on healing our family.
You're right. It's just hard not to feel like we're under constant scrutiny.
As night fell, Sarah grew anxious. She constantly checked the locks on her doors. She found herself peering out of windows. Her previously cozy home now felt different. It seemed like a building under threat. Sarah felt surrounded by unseen judgment and suspicion.
What if things never go back to normal, David? What if this is our new reality?
Then we'll face it together, as a family.
Sarah nodded, trying to draw strength from David's words. She gazed out at the darkened street. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that their ordeal wasn't over. The once warm atmosphere of the Williams home had grown cold and tense. Weeks had passed since Michael Carver's arrest. Sarah sat in her car, hands gripping the steering wheel. She was preparing herself for another difficult therapy session. Sarah walked into Dr. Chen's office. The weight of her guilt was heavy. It felt like a burden pressing down on her shoulders.
Welcome, Sarah. How are you feeling today?
Honestly, Dr. Chen, I feel like I'm drowning. Every time I close my eyes, I see Michael's face. Then I imagine what he might have seen. I keep thinking about those cameras he used. It's overwhelming and distressing.
Sarah's voice cracked. She sank into the soft chair. It was positioned across from Dr. Chen.
It's natural to feel overwhelmed, Sarah. You've experienced a severe betrayal of trust. How are things at home?
The situation isn't good. I'm worried about David. I think he's been drinking. Last night, I found empty bottles. They were hidden in the garage. This discovery has me very concerned about David's well-being and his potential struggle with alcohol.
Dr. Chen leaned forward. Her brow was furrowed with concern. The doctor's body language and facial expression conveyed a sense of worry about the situation at hand.
That's concerning. Have you talked to David about this?
I tried to communicate with him. However, he just shuts down completely. It seems he can't even look at me now. I'm at a loss on how to reach him.
The session continued with Sarah expressing her emotions. She poured out her fears and frustrations. As Sarah left the office, she felt conflicted. A mix of relief and dread washed over her. She knew she had to confront David. Later that evening, Sarah found David. He was in the kitchen. David held a glass of amber liquid. The golden drink rested in his hand as Sarah entered the room.
David, we need to talk.
About what, Sarah? How you let that monster into our lives?
David's voice carried a bitter tone. The bitterness cut through Sarah deeply. It felt like a knife slicing her emotions.
That's not fair, David. I didn't know. None of us knew.
You should have known. You invited him over. You trusted him with our children.
David's voice rose. His face was flushed. This was due to anger and alcohol. The physical signs of his emotional state were clear, influenced by both his feelings and his drinking.
Do you think drinking yourself into oblivion will fix things? What about our kids, David? They need us to be present. Our children depend on us, and excessive drinking won't solve our problems.
Don't lecture me about the kids. You're the one who put them in danger.
The argument escalated in the house. Voices echoed throughout the rooms. Upstairs, Emily and Jack huddled in their bedrooms. The raised voices were a painful reminder. It showed how their world had shattered. The once peaceful home now resonated with conflict, leaving the children feeling vulnerable and scared.
This has to stop, David. We can't go on like this. We need help. All of us.
What we need is for things to go back to normal. But they can't, can they?
Sarah watched as David stormed out of the kitchen. He left her alone with a sudden realization. Their perfect facade had completely crumbled.
No, they can't. But we have to find a way forward for our family.
Sarah stood in the silent kitchen. She made a decision to fight for her family. She would do whatever it took. The road ahead would be difficult. But Sarah was determined to rebuild. She wanted to restore their sense of security and trust. The autumn chill in the air matched Sarah's unease. She approached Emily's school with a heavy heart. The previously familiar building now felt like foreign territory. It was a stark reminder of recent changes. Everything had shifted since the truth about Michael Carver came out.
Deep breaths, Sarah. You can do this. Emily needs you, even if she doesn't know it yet.
Sarah spotted Emily across the crowded gymnasium. Her daughter's posture was tense and guarded. As their eyes met, Sarah saw something beneath Emily's expression. There was a flicker of vulnerability under her standoffish look.
Hi, sweetie. I thought I'd surprise you and come to your art showcase.
Mom? What are you doing here?
Emily's voice held a mix of confusion and irritation. Sarah noticed this change in Emily's tone. Despite her emotions, Emily didn't immediately walk away.
I wanted to see your work, and I miss you, Em. I know things have been tough, but I'm trying.
You can't just show up and expect everything to be okay. You don't understand what it's like for me.
You're right, I don't, but I want to. Can we talk? Maybe look at your art together?
Emily hesitated for a moment. Conflict was visible in her eyes. Finally, she made a decision and nodded. Emily then led Sarah to a corner. In this corner, Emily's paintings were on display.
This one. It's about feeling trapped. Like the walls are always watching.
Sarah's heart clenched. She gazed at Emily's painting. The brushstrokes were dark and heavy. They created a gloomy, oppressive atmosphere. Sarah felt the weight of the artwork's somber mood.
Oh, Emily, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were carrying this much pain.
How could you? You were too busy trying to pretend everything was perfect.
You're right about this situation. I was blind and failed you before. But I'm here now, ready to listen. I'm scared too, Em. I'm terrified of what could have happened. I regret letting you down so badly.
Sarah's voice cracked. She noticed a change in Emily. Emily's tough demeanor began to soften.
Mom, I'm scared all the time. I can't sleep without checking the locks. I check them a dozen times each night. I hate feeling this way.
Oh, sweetheart.
Sarah pulled Emily into a tight embrace. She felt her daughter's body shake. Emily was crying with silent sobs. The mother held her child close, offering comfort without words.
We'll get through this together, I promise you that. No more pretending now. We'll face our fears directly. We'll do it as a family. Our strength lies in our unity, and together we can overcome any challenge that comes our way.
I've missed you, Mom. Really missed you.
Mother and daughter clung to each other. A weight lifted from Sarah's shoulders. It was a small but crucial step. This moment was important in rebuilding their relationship. Later that evening, Sarah stood before a group of concerned neighbors. They gathered in the local park as the sun was setting. Long shadows stretched across the ground, creating a fitting backdrop. The scene was set for the serious discussion that lay ahead.
Thank you all for coming. I know we're all still affected by recent events, but it's time we come together as a community. We need to ensure our neighborhood is safe for everyone.
We've increased patrols in the area, but a neighborhood watch could make a real difference.
Officer Tyler Brooks nodded encouragingly at Sarah. Sarah took a deep breath. She prepared to continue speaking.
Something significant has happened. It has shaken all of us. However, we must not let fear win. We need to support one another. Together we can rebuild the trust that's been broken.
Sarah has a valid point about this. We can't change what happened in the past. However, we can work together for the future. Our goal is to make our community stronger. We also aim to make it safer for everyone.
Karen's supportive words boosted Sarah's confidence. Sarah looked out at the faces of her neighbors. She saw a mix of uncertainty and determination in their expressions.
I propose we start with regular meetings. We'll share information and concerns. We'll work closely with the police. We'll also focus on supporting each other. No one should feel alone or unsafe. Everyone deserves to feel secure in their own home.
Sarah outlined her plans for the neighborhood watch. As she did so, she felt a spark of hope. She knew it wouldn't be easy. However, they would take it step by step. Their goal was to bring back safety and togetherness to their community.
Together, we can turn this tragedy into an opportunity for growth and healing. Who's with me?
Hands raised throughout the crowd. For the first time in weeks, Sarah felt a genuine connection. She sensed a warmth from her neighbors. It was a small but significant victory. This marked a step in the long journey. The community was rebuilding trust and safety in Maple Grove. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead in the police station. Sarah sat across from Detective Johnson. Her hands clutched a steaming cup of coffee. The detective's face was grim. He shuffled through a stack of new files. The tense atmosphere was palpable as they prepared to discuss the case.
Sarah, I have some troubling news. We've uncovered disturbing information about Michael Carver. His crimes appear to have a longer history than we thought.
What do you mean, Detective? How far back are we talking about?
Sarah's voice trembled slightly. Her fingers tightened around the coffee cup, turning her knuckles white. She braced herself for the answer.
We've discovered evidence from almost 10 years ago. There are additional victims within our community. Some of these victims were underage at the time.
Oh God, no. How do we not see this? How many others?
Detective Johnson's eyes softened with sympathy. He watched Sarah's face intently. Her expression changed dramatically, showing horror and disbelief.
We're still piecing it all together. So far, we've identified at least 5 other victims. I'm sorry, Sarah. I know this must be incredibly difficult to hear.
5? Is that really true? There are 5 other families with children involved. How could he have kept this hidden for so long? It was happening right under our noses.
Sarah's mind raced with worry. She thought about all the community events and barbecues. She recalled the times Michael had been alone with her children. Suddenly, the full impact of her trusting nature hit her hard. She realized how naive she had been all along.
Predators like Carver are expert manipulators. Sarah, they're skilled at presenting a facade of normalcy. This isn't your fault.
But I brought him into our lives, Detective. I trusted him with my family and my neighbor's children. I feel responsible and need to do something. How can I help?
Detective Johnson leaned forward. His expression was serious, yet it was also encouraging. This combination of stern professionalism and supportive demeanor set the tone for the conversation to come.
Your cooperation has been invaluable so far. We could use your help if you're up for it. We need assistance reaching out to some other families. Your connection to the community is important. It might make them more willing to come forward.
Of course, anything I can do. These families deserve justice. We all do.
Sarah left the police station with a strong determination to help. Her resolve was palpable as she stepped outside. However, the weight of new information hung heavy on her shoulders. She drove home, her mind preoccupied. Sarah dreaded the upcoming conversation with David and the kids. Later that evening, tension filled the Williams home. Sarah sat at the kitchen table, focused on her work. She was surrounded by case files and notes. Her laptop was open in front of her.
Sarah, it's past midnight. You need to get some rest.
I can't, David. There's so much to do. These families need our help. I need to make this right.
What's happening to our family? Emily is hardly talking to us. Jack's nightmares have returned. I feel like I'm losing you to this case. Our home life is suffering, while you're so focused on work.
Sarah looked up at her husband's face. She saw worry and frustration clearly visible on it. Sarah felt conflicted between two strong feelings. She wanted to help with the investigation, but she also had important responsibilities at home. These competing needs weighed heavily on her mind.
I'm sorry, David. I can't sit idly by knowing what Michael did. I can help bring him to justice.
I understand that, but at what cost? We're all struggling here, Sarah. We need you too.
The sound of a door slamming upstairs startled them. Both people flinched at the noise. Emily's muffled voice could be heard. Her words carried down the stairs.
Can you guys stop talking about this for one night? Some of us are trying to sleep.
Sarah and David exchanged pained looks. The strain on their family life was becoming clear. This tension grew more evident with each passing day.
You're right. I will try to balance things better. Maybe we can talk to Dr. Chen. We can discuss how to handle this as a family.
That's a start. Just don't forget we're in this together, okay?
David headed upstairs. Sarah turned her attention to her notes. She felt conflicted, torn between determination and guilt. She knew she had to help with the investigation. At the same time, she couldn't neglect her family. The path forward seemed full of challenges for Sarah. The once peaceful Maple Grove neighborhood now seemed dangerous and unpredictable to Sarah Williams. Every rustle of leaves made her heart race. Every unexpected shadow startled her. Sarah peered through her living room curtains. Her eyes darted suspiciously from house to house.
David, come look at this. A new family just moved in across the street. Don't you think something seems off about them?
Sarah, honey, we've discussed this before. You need to stop being suspicious. Not everyone moving into the neighborhood is a threat. It's important to give new neighbors a chance before jumping to conclusions.
Sarah's forehead creased as she watched a scene unfold. A man was unloading boxes from a relocation truck. Sarah's fingers tightened on the curtain. Her knuckles were turning white from the grip. The sight clearly troubled her, causing both a visual and physical reaction.
Look at how he's acting. He keeps glancing around nervously. It's as if he's checking for witnesses. Why is he bringing those boxes inside? He's moving them one by one. What if they contain suspicious equipment?
Equipment? Sarah, listen to yourself. He's probably just being careful with fragile items.
Mom, Dad, what's going on?
Emily entered the room. Her eyes were immediately drawn to her parents by the window. They had tense postures. Sarah quickly dropped the curtain and turned to face her daughter. She forced a smile that didn't reach her eyes.
Nothing, sweetie. Just welcoming the new neighbors.
By spying on them? Mom, you promised you'd try to relax a little.
Sarah's composure broke. She slumped onto the nearby couch. Sarah buried her face in her hands. This sequence of actions revealed her sudden emotional vulnerability.
I know, I'm trying, Emily. It's just that things have changed. Ever since Michael, I've been different. I can't help but see danger everywhere now.
We all feel it, Sarah. But we can't let fear control our lives.
Mom, I understand how you feel. What happened was truly awful. But I can't continue living like this. I need to have some freedom. My friends are starting to think I'm strange. It's because I can never go anywhere or do anything.
Sarah looked up, her eyes filled with mixed emotions. Fear and guilt were evident in her expression. She reached out to take Emily's hand. Her daughter pulled away from the gesture.
Emily, please understand. I'm just trying to keep you safe.
But at what cost, Mom? We're all miserable. I feel like a prisoner in my own home.
The sudden sound made everyone jump. Sarah leapt to her feet quickly. Her eyes were wide with panic. The unexpected noise had startled the group, but Sarah's reaction was particularly intense.
Who could that be? David, did you invite anyone over?
No, I didn't. But Sarah, it's probably just...
Before David could finish speaking, Sarah rushed to the door. She flung it open, ready to confront whoever was there. To her shock, she found herself standing before the new neighbor. It was the same neighbor she had noticed earlier that day. His hand was raised, about to ring the doorbell again.
Ma'am, I'm Officer Tyler Brooks. I received a call about suspicious activity in the area. Is everything all right here?
Sarah's face drained of color. She realized the implications. Behind her, David and Emily stood. They exchanged worried glances. The tension in the room was palpable. as each person grappled with the sudden revelation.
I'm so sorry, there's been a terrible misunderstanding.
Sarah stumbled through an explanation. The weight of her actions crashed down upon her. She had let her fear push her to the brink. Now she faced the consequences of her excessive caution. Her unnecessary wariness had led her astray, and she was left to confront the reality of her choices. Before we continue, let's take a moment to reflect. What are your thoughts on this story? What would you like to hear next? Please share your ideas in the comments. The Williams home was once a safe and cozy haven. Now it felt like a besieged stronghold. Sarah stood at the kitchen window, eyes scanning the quiet suburban street. She searched for any sign of danger lurking outside. Behind well-kept lawns and cheerful house fronts, threats might be hiding.
It's been weeks since everything happened. I still can't shake this feeling of being watched. How can I keep Emily safe? I want to protect her without being too protective.
Mom, can I talk to you about something?
Sarah turned to face her daughter. She forced a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Emily stood in the doorway. Her face showed a mixture of hesitation and determination.
Of course, sweetheart. What's on your mind?
There's a school dance coming up next Friday. I really want to go.
Sarah felt her chest tighten. Her protective instincts activated quickly. The thought of Emily being out of sight worried her deeply. Sarah knew Emily was vulnerable, and this realization sent a wave of panic through her body.
Oh, Emily. I don't know if that's a good idea. It's so soon after.
Mom, please. I can't stay locked up forever. I need to feel normal again.
The pain and frustration in Emily's voice cut through Sarah's fear. Sarah realized she was at a crossroads. She could protect her daughter at all costs, or she could help her daughter reclaim her life. Sarah faced a difficult choice between safeguarding and empowering her child.
Let me talk to your father about it, okay? We'll decide together.
Fine. But please, Mom, think about it. I need this.
As Emily left the room, Sarah sank into a chair. Her mind was racing with thoughts. She knew she needed to find a balance. However, the fear of what could happen overwhelmed her.
Hey, I'm home. Everything okay?
David entered the kitchen. He noticed something was wrong. His brow creased with concern. Sarah's expression looked troubled. David could tell she was upset about something.
David, Emily wants to go to the school dance next Friday. I don't know what to do.
And you're worried about her safety.
Terrified. But I also see how much she needs this. Am I being paranoid? Or not careful enough?
David sat down next to Sarah. He took her hand in his. After weeks of tension, his demeanor had changed. There was no anger or blame in his eyes. Only understanding could be seen.
Sarah, we can't keep her in a bubble forever. Maybe this is a chance for all of us. It could be an opportunity to start healing.
You really think we should let her go?
I think we should proceed. We'll take necessary precautions, of course. We'll provide transportation there and back. We may need to speak with Principal Roberts. We'll discuss implementing extra security measures.
Sarah felt a weight lift from her shoulders. David's support came after weeks of tension. His support felt like a lifeline to Sarah. This unexpected relief brought comfort and reassurance to her troubled mind.
Okay, we'll tell her yes. But God, David, I'm scared.
I know, me too. But we're in this together, Sarah. We'll get through it.
As they embraced, Sarah felt a spark of hope. It was a small step towards improvement. This moment marked the beginning of change. Sarah and her companion were starting to reclaim their lives. Fear had surrounded them before, casting a dark shadow. Now they were ready to overcome it together. The night of the school dance had finally arrived. The Williams household buzzed with nervous energy. Sarah stood in the living room. Her eyes were fixed on the clock. She waited for Emily to return.
Emily, sweetie, it's almost midnight. Please call me when you're on your way home.
Sarah's voice trembled slightly as she left another voicemail. The pit in her stomach grew. Her anxiety increased with each passing minute.
Sarah, I'm sure she's fine. You know how teenagers lose track of time at these things.
I know, David, but after everything that's happened, I can't help but worry. Emily? Oh, Karen, it's you. Have you heard from Emily?
No, I'm sorry, Sarah. I just wanted to check in. Is everything okay?
She's not home yet, and she's not answering her phone. I think something's wrong.
The clock struck midnight. Sarah's newfound vigilance heightened. This alertness stemmed from her trauma with Michael Carver. Her senses shifted into high gear. She couldn't shake an unsettling feeling. Sarah feared her daughter was in danger.
David, we need to call the police. Now.
Don't you think that's overreacting? Let's give her a little more time.
No! I won't make the same mistake again. I won't ignore my instincts.
911. What's your emergency?
This is Sarah Williams. My daughter Emily hasn't come home. She was at the school dance. Emily isn't answering her phone. Please, we need help.
Within the hour, Maple Grove was alight with flashing police lights. Detective Johnson arrived at the Williams home. His face was grim but determined.
Mrs. Williams, we're taking this very seriously. We understand your family's recent history is concerning. Can you share everything you know about Emily's plans? We're particularly interested in her activities for tonight.
She went to the dance with her friend Amber. The girls were supposed to be home by 11:30. I've called Amber's parents for information. They haven't seen the girls either.
Sarah recounted the evening's events. Her mind raced with possibilities. Each possibility was more terrifying than the last. The thought of Michael Carver dominated her mind.
We've put out an alert for Emily and Amber. I've also requested access to the school's security footage. Mrs. Williams, I need you to reach out to other parents in your community. Your connections might help us gather information faster.
Of course, anything to find her. Oh God, what if...
Sarah, don't go there. We'll find her.
David's voice cracked, revealing his fear. Sarah nodded, preparing herself for the challenge. She took out her phone and started messaging. Sarah contacted every parent she knew.
Karen, I need your help. Can you start calling everyone in our real estate network? Someone must have seen something.
I'm on it, Sarah. We'll turn this whole town upside down if we have to.
The search intensified, and Sarah felt a strange mix of emotions. Terror and determination filled her as she pushed forward. Her recent ordeal had sharpened her instincts significantly. It had also forged unlikely alliances throughout the community. Now, Sarah faced her worst nightmare head-on. She prayed these new connections would help bring her daughter home.
Mrs. Williams, we've got a lead. A convenience store owner on Elm Street has reported a sighting. He thinks he saw two girls matching Emily and Amber's description. This happened about an hour ago.
Let's go. I know that area like the back of my hand. I can help.
Sarah grabbed her keys, her heart pounding. She stepped into the cool night air. Silently, she vowed to remain alert at all times. Protecting her family was now her top priority. The search for Emily had begun. Sarah was determined to bring her daughter home. She would stop at nothing, no matter the cost. The abandoned property stood out in Maple Grove. It contrasted sharply with the well-kept lawns nearby. Sarah's heart raced as she approached the building. Her mother's instinct told her Emily was inside. The setting sun cast long shadows across the yard. Overgrown plants added to the eerie atmosphere. The run-down appearance of the house seemed out of place in this tidy neighborhood. Sarah felt a mix of fear and determination as she got closer. She couldn't shake the strong feeling that her daughter was somewhere in that old structure. As daylight faded, the property took on an increasingly sinister look. The untamed garden seemed to whisper warnings, making Sarah's task feel even more urgent.
Emily? Emily, are you in there?
Sarah's voice trembled as she called out. Her eyes darted nervously around the property. She took a deep breath. Sarah braced herself for what lay ahead.
Hello. Is anyone here?
Sarah carefully went into the building. A stale smell hit her nose. She moved slowly through the dark inside. She felt very tense and aware of everything around her.
Emily! Baby, is that you?
Sarah's heart jumped as she recognized her daughter's cries. She rushed towards the sound. Her maternal instincts took over, pushing aside her fear.
Mom, help me.
Emily's voice was weak and frightened. It came from behind a closed door. Sarah reached for the handle. She froze as a familiar voice spoke. The voice came from the shadows behind her.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Sarah.
Sarah whirled around suddenly. She came face to face with Michael Carver. His once friendly demeanor had vanished. It was replaced by a chilling calm. This change sent shivers down Sarah's spine.
Michael, what have you done? Let Emily go now.
Oh, Sarah, you always see the best in people. That's what made this so easy for me. You never suspected a thing, did you?
Sarah's mind raced as she processed the situation. She faced betrayal and danger. Sarah positioned herself between Michael and the door. Her maternal instinct to protect Emily took over. This protective urge overcame her fear.
It's over, Michael. The police are on their way. You can't hide anymore.
Is that so? And who do you think they'll believe? The respected neighbor or the hysterical mother?
Sarah's hands tightened into fists. She faced her former friend, who had been exposed as a predator. Emily's presence behind the door gave Sarah strength. This support empowered Sarah as she confronted the difficult situation.
They'll believe the evidence. Your hidden cameras reveal your sick obsession. Everything is coming to light, Michael. The truth about your actions is now undeniable. Your secretive surveillance and disturbing fascination have been exposed. All of your hidden activities are now becoming clear for everyone to see.
Michael's confidence wavered for a moment. A brief look of panic appeared on his face. Sarah noticed this change. She took advantage of the situation. Her voice became more assertive.
You underestimated me, Michael. You thought I was just a trusting neighbor. But I'm a mother. I will do anything to protect my child.
The sound of approaching police sirens filled the air. Michael's eyes darted towards the window. His calm appearance was quickly breaking down. The once composed man now showed signs of distress as the situation unfolded around him.
This isn't over, Sarah. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Michael turned to flee. Sarah lunged for the door. She wrenched it open forcefully. The action revealed Emily in the corner. Emily was huddled there, crying. Tears were streaming down her face.
Emily! Oh, baby, I'm here. You're safe now.
Mom, I was so scared.
Sarah hugged her daughter tightly. Tears fell freely from Sarah's eyes. The sound of police entering the building echoed through the halls. Sarah continued to hold Emily close. Her voice became a soothing whisper, comforting her daughter.
It's okay, sweetheart. I've got you. We're gonna be okay.
In that moment, sirens wailed and footsteps approached. Sarah realized her worst fear had turned into her biggest strength. She had faced the darkness and come out on top. Her love for her daughter was like an unbreakable shield. This shield protected them against all the horrors they had been through. The sterile hospital room was bathed in the soft glow of dawn. Sarah sat beside Emily's bed, her hand gently resting on her daughter's arm. The beeping of machines provided a steady rhythm. It was a reminder that Emily was safe and alive. Emily was on the path to recovery.
Emily, sweetheart, I'm here. You're safe now.
Mom, I thought I'd never see you again.
Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She leaned in to embrace her daughter. Sarah was careful not to disturb the IV lines.
Oh, honey, we never stopped looking for you. Not for a second. I'm so sorry this happened to you.
It wasn't your fault, Mom. It was Michael. He seemed so normal, so nice.
Sarah felt a sudden feeling of guilt. This feeling arose at the mention of Michael's name. She swallowed hard, trying to suppress her emotions. Sarah needed to focus on her daughter instead.
I know, sweetie. We all thought he was. But what matters now is that you're safe. We're gonna get through this together.
David entered the room. He was carrying 2 cups of coffee. His face showed signs of exhaustion and worry. However, his expression softened when he saw Emily. She was awake and talking.
Hey, there's my brave girl. How are you feeling, Em?
Dad, I'm okay. Just tired and scared.
It's okay to be scared, honey. We're all a little scared right now. But we're here for you, always.
David handed Sarah a coffee. He placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. It was a wordless recognition of their shared strength. This moment held special meaning for them. The simple gestures spoke volumes about their connection and mutual support.
David, I think we should call Dr. Chen. Emily might be ready to talk about what happened.
Good idea. I'll give her a call.
David stepped out to make the call. Sarah turned back to Emily. Her voice was soft but firm.
Emily, I want you to know something important. Whatever you're feeling right now is valid. You can say or do anything you need to heal. It's okay to express yourself fully. We're here to listen and support you. Our support is unconditional, no matter what.
Mom, I can't stop thinking about it. We trusted him so much. He was always around, always so helpful. Now it makes me feel sick.
I know, sweetheart. I feel the same way. We can't let his actions ruin our capacity for trust. We'll learn from this experience. We'll become stronger and more aware.
Sarah's words were meant for both herself and Emily. She held her daughter's hand tightly. Silently, Sarah made a vow. She would rebuild their sense of safety and trust. This process would happen gradually, one day at a time.
Dr. Chen will be here in an hour. She thinks it's a good idea for us all to talk together.
Thank you, David. Emily, how do you feel about that?
I think I'm ready. But can we go home after? I just want to be in my own room.
Of course, sweetie. We'll talk to the doctors about getting you discharged today.
The family sat together, sharing a palpable sense of relief and unity. They knew the road ahead would be long and challenging. Yet, in this moment they found solace in each other's presence.
We're going to get through this, all of us, together. Our home will be safe again, I promise.
Sarah's words hung in the air. They were a declaration of determination and hope. The sun rose higher, casting warm light through the hospital window. The Williams family embraced. They were ready to face the dawn of their new reality. The early morning sun filtered through new curtains in the Williams home. Sarah stood in the kitchen, holding a steaming mug of coffee. The past few months had been a journey of healing for her family. This journey extended to the entire neighborhood. Sarah gazed out the window at the freshly planted garden. It was a symbol of new beginnings and resilience. The garden represented hope after a challenging time. As Sarah sipped her coffee, she felt grateful for the progress they had made. The new day brought promise, just like the growing plants outside.
It's amazing how much has changed, and yet we're still here. We're still standing.
David entered the kitchen. His footsteps no longer carried tension. He approached Sarah calmly. David placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. The atmosphere in the room had shifted, reflecting the change in David's demeanor.
Morning, honey. How are you feeling about the community meeting today?
Nervous, but ready. It's time we all came together and started rebuilding the trust we lost.
Sarah's voice held a new strength. Her tone was tempered by the experiences she had endured. The security measures in their home were gone. These had once cluttered their living space. Now a cautious optimism had taken their place. Sarah and her family were moving forward with hope, while still remembering the past.
You've done an amazing job organizing this, Sarah. The way you've reached out to the other affected families is remarkable. It has really brought people together.
We all needed it, David. After what Michael did, we couldn't stay alone and afraid. We had to reclaim our neighborhood. We needed to restore our sense of community. Together, we decided to overcome our isolation and rebuild our connections.
Emily descended the stairs. Her presence filled the room. She exuded a blend of youthful spirit and growing maturity. The teenager's energy was palpable, yet there was a newfound sense of adulthood about her.
Mom and Dad, I have a question for you. Is it all right if I speak at today's meeting? I've been reflecting on recent events. There's something I'd like to share with everyone.
Of course, sweetie. Are you sure you're ready for that?
I am ready to speak. Dr. Chen helped me prepare for this. I believe it's important for people to hear from someone my age.
Sarah and David exchanged a look. Their expression showed both pride and concern. Their daughter's resilience was remarkable. Her strength continued to amaze them.
We're proud of you, Em. Your voice matters in all of this.
The family was preparing for the day ahead. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Sarah opened it to find Karen standing there. Karen's expression was warm and supportive.
Morning, Williams clan. I brought some homemade muffins for strength before the big meeting.
Karen, you're a lifesaver. Come in, come in.
Karen entered the house. She paused for a moment. Through the front window, a new garden was visible. Karen took time to admire it.
The garden looks beautiful, Sarah. It's like a fresh start for the whole street.
That's exactly what we needed, a way to grow something positive out of all this.
Sarah's gaze swept across her family and friend. A sense of determination settled over her.
We faced extreme hardship, but we're not letting it define us. Today, we start rewriting our story. We do this as a family and as a community. Our past experiences have been tough, yet they've made us stronger. Now we're taking control of our narrative. Together, we're shaping a new future. Our bonds as a family and community give us strength. We're moving forward with hope and determination.
Together. That's the key word here.
The family gathered around the kitchen island. They shared muffins and finalized plans for the meeting. A strong feeling of hope filled the air. The Williams home was once a place of fear and betrayal. Now, it was changing back into a sanctuary. This transformation didn't come through locks and alarms. Instead, it came through love, openness, and strength. The family found power in facing challenges together. Their home was becoming a safe haven once again. The story is over. Thank you for listening. Please write a comment about this story. Tell me what you think. I will read all of your comments. I'll reply to each of you personally. See you next time.